One thing that really bugs me is when people call us up, send us an email, or come in for a meeting and go, "This is my quick idea for a platform." Like, you tell us all that in about 15 minutes, and they go, "I've gotten these two quotes already. Can you give me a quote?" And they expect something to be able to, for us to roll something off the top of our tongue and say, "Yep, here you go. It's going to be X." It doesn't really work that way. What we don't know is how long have the other people spent on it? What other information have you told them? All we have is surface level information at this point, and we can't actually give you a quote. You're not going to a provider of, say, roller blinds, and then they all three providers do the exact same thing. There's the installation process is exactly the same. They know exactly what the unknowns will be, and they can actually give you a comparable price. Software requires a lot of planning, consulting, and design to try and figure out what you're actually doing, what it's supposed to do, how many unknowns are there, what can you, and how to do it. If you go to three different consulting firms, they'll give you three different ways of doing the exact same thing that should deliver the same value, but they'll use different technologies, different processes, different methodologies, different tools. So it's really impossible to sit down for a couple hours or even a couple of days and plan out a 6 month or a year development and give you a fixed price quote. We really need to go through an entire process, which we've trademarked and got defined over years of doing this, called DevReady. So what this does is we can go through an entire process with you, uncover as many unknowns as possible, prototype what we don't know will work, what we think would work, and try and reduce the risk as much as possible. In this process, we then come up with a document that defines every single thing you can possibly want, how you want it to work, and then we can give you an estimate, which is a very rough ballpark on what your project will cost. Then we break that down into what your MVP and phases will be, and we can start engineering each chunk as we go. Once we do the engineering, we can then give you a price because we've effectively planned out the development in total, and we know exactly what we have to do, how to do it, what will be used, and we can give you a fixed price at that point for a small chunk. We've done that in the past where we used to fix price an entire project over a year, and it never really works out good for anyone. The product gets delivered, but we've probably spent more time on it from start to finish if we give a fixed price quote than what we said at the start of the project. A year later, what's delivered is exactly what's that, but the customer might have changed their mind, and then we have to do change requests and 10 different alterations and contracts and all this other stuff. It's not the best process, and it locks you into something that might not work in the end. So when someone says, "I'm shopping around for a quote," really have to consider how valuable is this product or service or platform building going to be to your business. You need someone that's going to be there for the long term, can understand it, help you develop it and deliver it properly, do it in stages, and give you value when you need it.